I think because we have undercounted ourselves and underestimated ourselves, we've quite forgotten that we were never a minority. As 1 billion African people on the face of the earth, we can create industries overnight if we decided that we don't wear no underwear we don't make. We don't eat no food that don't come from one of our farms. We don't sleep on no mattresses we don't make. We don't bury our loved ones in any coffins we don't make. We take the coffin industry away from the mafia. We've forgotten our great potential as a people.
And I'm back. This is Brian HRap Williams. This is the End of the Bench Media. This is a program called A Few Minutes with HRap, where I do everything I can to uplift our people. And my mantra is to make life better for our great-grandchildren's grandchildren. Again, our great-grandchildren's grandchildren. That's what I want to do. Thank you for tapping in. Hit like, hit share, tell a friend to tap in. Subscribe if you haven't. If you're not watching this live, watching on YouTube, go to www.theendofthebitch.com. You can see that and more of my content. It's 3 pages of content for the last 90 days. I want you to check it out. Please subscribe on YouTube. Help the movement, help the movement, help the movement. I want to thank you for tapping in before I do everything. Before I go into everything, I thank my parents, Dolores and John. Without Dolores and John, there would be no me. Dolores is my mom. John is my dad. They came together, created me. I created this. Without this, you'd be doing something. Without them, there would be no me. Without me, you'd be doing something else with your valuable time. Thank you, and again, thank you. I want to go into this. It is important that we go into this. The cost of freedom. Freedom is a situation to whereas, what is it? Let's just ask the question. What is freedom? Freedom in the United States. It is the slogan of the United States is the land of the free, home of the brave. If you're brave enough to want freedom, you should be able to obtain it. What is freedom? Freedom is the ability to move around. Freedom is to do what you want to do. Freedom is to exercise those rights that were first and foremost the rights given to you as a human being by God, and the rights that are legally laid out in the Bill of Rights in the Constitution of the United States of America. When you are living in these United States of America, there are limited rights in accordance to who you are, what you look like, who you pray to, who you lay with, who you love, and everything of that nature. And that's not freedom. Freedom is something that is a bird is free. Because when you look at animals, see, me personally, I try to equate, attach anything I talk about to nature. Nature and the word of God, whether it's the word of Allah, Jehovah Jireh, God, whoever your deity is or whoever you pray to, that's what I want to attach it to. It is natural. It is unconfining. You do not have restrictions and freedom. Now, again, when you talk about the word of God or nature, animals don't just kill each other willy-nilly. When the aforementioned bird, the bird flies whenever he wants to. The bird walks around on earth, and when he's no longer satisfied with his surroundings, he takes off and he's gone to a place where he will be able to conquer whatever it is he's attempting to conquer, whether it is something to eat or just peace. And I'm sitting on a perch and not being bothered. That's freedom. As humans, we don't have the ability to flap our arms and take off somewhere, but we do have the ability to walk and go in other places and do other things to enhance our daily freedoms. Freedom to have peace of mind, freedom to have abilities to do what we want to do without harm, without any hurt, harm, or danger being proposed on someone or being proposed upon us. Which brings about the question, what does freedom look like? What does freedom look like? Have you ever considered what freedom looks like? Freedom is the ability to learn about yourself. Black history. Black history is freedom. White history is freedom. Whoever you are, your history is freedom. But I speak directly to my people. And when I speak to my people, it covers the entirety of humanity. Because I'm not trying to exclude, separate, denigrate, or put anybody in a subordinate position. What I do want to do is uplift my people. And from the history I've seen, when my people are uplifted, we're the rising tide that lifts all boats. So let me continue in that direction. Allow me to continue in that direction and say, hey, Black history is freedom. Freedom is learning about your history. Freedom is embracing your history. Freedom is embracing your culture. Freedom is the ability to create a business anywhere in these United States that you would like legally within the confines of the law and be able to flourish. Freedom is to be able to learn about who you are, what you come from, what you've gone through, so you will be able to look at what you've gone through and immerse yourself in what you've gone through. And that will let you understand why you are in the position that you're in. And once you know why you know what you've gone through, what you've created, what you've gone through, and what puts you in this position right here, this has allowed you to move forward in the future. That's freedom. Freedom is the ability to hunt and fish, if you like to, if you go to a position, go to a station in which that is legal. Freedom is to be able to be an entrepreneur. Freedom is the ability to be a writer. Freedom is the freedom of mind to love who you want, pray to who you want, label who you want. Live your life in accordance to the way you see it, as long as you're not infringing on anyone else's freedoms. That's what freedom is. Now that brings about the question. Do you have freedom? Do you have freedom? Freedom is the ability to go get a job, work as hard as you can to move up in the ranks of the place of employment, and then live the life that you thought will put you in a position of happiness and joy. Freedom is also, how about this? Freedom is also not to have the ability to hire anybody you don't want to. But also freedom is this: when you find that this place of employment, industry, or what have you, are participating in discriminatory practices, you go online like this, so you can spread the word or whatever you want to do, that you have the freedom to express yourself. Again, as long as it's not denigrating or putting a negative, as shining a negative light on something, someone, or a entity. See, what we're gonna do is discover what freedom is, hopefully in this episode, so we can spread the word about freedom, so we can understand what freedom presents to us, presents to others, and put up and how it represents itself, so we can make the pursuit. We can start the pursuit of happiness, because the pursuit of happiness is the ultimate goal according to these United States and the Constitution of these United States. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what you're guaranteed here. You even have foolish people in this world. This is the only place in the world where people anticipate being happy or expect to be happy. And they speak about those things as if that's wrong. This is the only place in the world where you're expected to be happy. Well, it's in the contract. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If I can pursue happiness, I have the freedom to be happy. Therefore, I should expect to be happy. And when people stand in front of those rights we should have a problem. We should. If you don't have a problem with someone expecting to be happy, then you are part of the problem. That's the question. What does freedom look like? The things that I just explained, that's what freedom looks like. Freedom looks like the ability to do everything you can to be as happy as you can without those freedoms and rights being pushed to the side, willfully ignored, attempting to destroy or suppress any of those things. That's what it looks like. That's freedom. That's true freedom. Freedom for a lion to walk through the wild, not bothering anyone or anything. And if you watch shows like Wild Kingdom or National Geographic, you see those animals just walking around. You see gazelles walking around. And then, of course, it will be a naysayer saying, well, then all of a sudden those lions try to eat those gazelles. But that's part of nature. When the way God created it, when the flock gets too big, the flock is reduced per nature. Only the strong survive. And guess what? Even with those weaker ones, when you see lions run down to Cape Buffalo, but if it's not time for that Cape Buffalo to die, the bulls and that pride or that herd attack the lions, allowing that buffalo to live a longer life. That's how it works. It's too many snakes. It's too many rats. Snakes are about. It's too many snakes. Mongoose are about. So forth and so on. It's the natural course of events. But with people, we're not operating from instincts or nature. We have the ability to think, which means if we can think, we should have empathy, we should have love, we should have adoration, we should have joy. And this shouldn't infringe on anyone or anything. We don't have to destroy to build. We don't have to destroy to build. And that's what freedom looks like. And that's what freedom looks like in these United States of America. The next question is, are you free? Are you free? That is the greatest question. Are you free? And why do we ask that question? Because a lot of us think we're free. A lot of us think, hey man, I'm straight. I'm cool. I'm okay. But are you really free? Are you doing the thinking for yourself? Or are you just a victim of capitalism? Are you purchasing things because that's what you want? Or are you purchasing things to be part of status quo? Do you live in a specific area because that's where you want to live? Or has someone told you your 2,400 square foot place isn't good enough, so you need this overspend so the bank can make more money, the builder can make more money, the realtor can make more money, and all of these people are friends? And now you are living in an uncomfortable situation because things are better over there. But how about making things better here? Do you leave your family? Do you leave your wife because it's a husband? You leave your spouse because it's a better looking individual over there, but not better for you? See, are you free? Are you thinking free? Are you free? Can you go anywhere you want to go, spend the money you want to spend, enjoy yourself without eyes being turned on you, being in an uncomfortable situation, worry about Johnny Law bothering you, worrying about rules that are unwritten rules that are being set in place? Do you have those freedoms? Do you have the freedom to start your own business without people attacking you or the government attacking you with foolish laws like eminent domain and coming in and upending everything that you've worked for? You've worked and lived in this place for 15, 20 years, but they want to put a football stadium, baseball stadium, a basketball stadium right here. So we're going to move up in you and give you what we perceive that you want. Do you have those freedoms? The elected officials, are they doing your bidding? Do you have the freedom? Are you exercising your freedom to engage and do things of that nature? Are you? Are you free? Are you free? That's what we have to ask ourselves. See, we say, I got the right to, but part of having the right is to fight. Part of having the right is to fight. See, freedom to debate with your friends, family members about the conditions of your community. Freedom to go to elected officials, personal one-on-one, state representatives, what we call here additional representatives called aldermen, city councilmen, and argue that your streets and roads need to be better. Or are you just not free to the point where you just accept that your roads are horrible and that's just the way it is? Your taxes are sky high. Your taxes are sitting on top of the ears of a giraffe. But you don't exercise the freedom to do that. So are you free? Have you ever spoken with an alderman? Have you ever spoken with a state representative? Have you ever called a congressperson? Have you ever engaged, sent a letter to you or call your governor? As a matter of fact, there's this thing called a 5 calls app. There's a thing called a 5 calls app. You can have 5 elected officials on there. It could be your governor. It could be 2 of your senators, both your senators, your state representative, and City Hall's office or the mayor's office, right? That's 5. Those are the 5 people that affect you immediately. And you can call them you can get their number off the app and call it. No matter where you live in these United States of America, city to city, coast to coast, border to border. 5 calls. If you're not doing that, are you free? Because see, even our enslaved ancestors complained to each other because they couldn't do anything because they had no freedom. If you are mimicking their behavior, are you free? Are you free of being programmed? Like, we're going to give you 20% off your bill if you go here and you do realize that what they're doing is setting up stuff to program you. Oh, this many people like this meal, so we're going to promote that meal and we're going to limit what we're doing, and you're not free again because we're catering to you and we're constructing something to entice you to spend your money. You haven't made a decision. You've been catered to, you've been marketed towards. See, marketing isn't getting you to buy things. It's marketing is to get you to believe that's what you wanted or that's what you need. But do you have freedom of thought? Are you free? Can you go to a bank and get a loan or not worry about the discriminatory practices of a bank like a Wells Fargo, who's been penalized and penalized and penalized and penalized and penalized for the discriminatory practices? Do you have those freedoms? See, if you don't have those freedoms, you don't even know if you have those freedoms, then you need to be questioning those freedoms and you need to be exercising those freedoms, because the cliche is people die for those freedoms, but you know what? They didn't die for those freedoms. They died so you can have the options. And if you're not, now, this is where we get into it. If you're not exercising those options, are you free? Are you disrespecting your ancestors? Are you doing everything you can to be free? But some people think because they have a few dollars in the bank, they don't have a whole lot of stress, and they've worked their behinds off, they are free. No, you're not. You're just if you ever watched the movie Roots, at the beginning, some enslaved people had these jobs, and as they aged, they got different jobs. It was a lighter job. That's all you've done. Are you exercising your freedoms? Are you using everything you can to be the best you can at all times? That's freedom. Are you free? See, when you say freedom, people think my people, we used to be enslaved and we used to have these problems. We still have those problems. They're different change. They're mental and social and spiritual change, but they're no longer physical change. So you think because I don't have physical change on me, I'm not, but I can't go out the house without this. I refuse to leave the house without this. Seems like a tracking device. Seems like you're tied to it. Seems like a digital chain to me. But hey, is it a tool or a toy? I keep asking you, tool or toy or chain? Now, what I want you to understand is this the problem? See, this might be the last episode you see of me this year in 2025. And then New Year's resolution, nope, I'm not doing that. Because why would I wait till January 1st to start eating right? I'm going to buy me a salad today. I'm eating that salad today. I'm hitting that gym today. I'm not going to wait till January to hit the gym. I'm going to hit the gym today. Because if I hit the gym today, by January 1st, which is 3 or 4 days, I am already started the process of flushing my body. I drink this water and chlorophyll to detox my body. Take supplements to detox my body so I can urine more, so I can pass things through my digestive system faster, so I can start the process now. So by the time I'm in January 1st, which is 3 or 4 days from now, what I'm going to do is this. I've already put vitamins and nourishments and proper food, which detoxes me from the anxiety of me, animals dying, knowing they're going to die and not realizing it. And you put the anxiety and stress inside yourself. That's why you have anxiety and stress disorders, because you're putting stress inside of you. Then you have natural stresses. And then you wonder why you need medication, which you don't need medication. You just need to pump proper nourishments into your body. Are you free to do that? Oh man, the meat is sky high. Maybe it's a warning. Maybe you have the freedom to not eat as much meat. Buy more vegetables. Go to fruit stands. Don't go to big box stores. Fruit stands. Hey, shout out to my Latino brothers and sisters, because when you go into those Latino shops, the fruit tastes a little better. The meat tastes a little better. It seems that they have their own butchers and things of that nature. Hint black people, hint black people, hint black people, hint black people. As you saw at the top of the show, Dr. John Henry Clark was telling you that. But that's why we need to be going to Living Word Food depository, aka grocery store in Forest Park, Illinois, and find one near you, because we have the freedom to do that. What I'm gonna show you how some of our freedoms have been taken away from us over time. This is my man, Country Boy, which you'll see him in a second. You'll see him and do his thing in a second. You'll see him do his thing in a second. I'm going to do this because I want to add something. I want to add some information to every episode, and I want to add some positivity at every episode. In a few seconds, you'll see me start the Country Boy video, and then I'll be back. What I want us to understand is freedom isn't just arguing and debating and finger pointing. You got a freedom to problem solve as well. So after you watch this piece of history, you're gonna get a promotion from my man, my man Country Boy, one mic history. You're gonna get some information, and then we're gonna come back, and then I'm gonna close out. This is something that needs to be talked about on a regular basis. I'm HRap, this Country Boy, and we'll be back shortly.
You know sundown towns. These were places where Black folks had to be out before dark. But what if your curfew wasn't a shotgun and a sheriff, but a mortgage? If a deed said that legally your family could not live here, how much generational wealth would you lose? This was Levittown, USA. It was America's first modern suburb. It turned sundown towns into paperwork. Today, we're going to show you the manuals, the money, and the Black family that refused to leave. I'm your host, Country Boy. This is One Mic Black History. And if you like stories like this, you can find more at OneMicHistory.com. But without further ado, let's get started. Before we get started, let's talk about the why. After World War II, millions of families needed housing. Wartime building freeze and a baby boom meant a true housing shortage. The GI Bill promised veterans low-cost homes. FHA insured mortgages to make these payments affordable and the terms longer. This was new. Before the 19 had short, risky loans. Now, a veteran could for 30 years. That changed who could buy in on paper. And in practice, these rules meant people who ran them were picking winners and losers. Enter William Levitt and his company. During the war, they built military housing fast. After the war, they took that speed to Long Island. Levittown, New York broke ground in 1947. They took the assembly line to the field. 20 plus steps from slab to shingles. Crews moved house to house. The company milled its own lumber. It made its own nails. It even poured bathtubs in bulk. At its peak, they finished more than 30 homes a day. Over 4 years, they built more than 17,000 homes. Each one had a little yard, a modern kitchen, and often radiant heating in the floor.
This is how you can lose the weight the way you want.
And we're not going to do any commercials, but as you see, that's what happened. And then discriminatory practices tapped in to the way of life that people were living. They had the freedom to do this, which means when you have people like Huey P. Newton, Fred Hampton, HRap Brown, and others from the Black Panther Party, we have the ability to do the same thing. We have that freedom to do this. We have the freedoms to enact things like that. We have the freedom to practice those same abilities, those same entrepreneurial activities, those same engaging in that same ingenuity, do the same thing that they were doing at their peak. But why don't we do it? Because we are some of the greatest people in the history of the world right here. You see that? You see our beautiful women. You see the men in other clip and other instance. And what we need to do is do this. How can we obtain freedom? By understanding the people in this video, some of these beautiful women are our mothers, our aunts, our nieces, our nieces, our daughters. And we are the protector of these people. We have the freedom to protect them. This is how you obtain freedom, by understanding the value in the women in our community. That's the first and foremost, because the woman is the first teacher. The woman is always the first teacher. Almost always the first teacher. And you know what? I would say always, because they are nurturing these children. They're eating properly. They're eating properly during pregnancy. A lot of them are working out during pregnancy. A lot of them are listening to the proper music during pregnancy. They are reading to their child in pregnancy. And then in the perfect situation, the man is coming in and he is letting the child hear his voice. But this is inspired by that woman. And then meals are distributed by that woman. Then this child is born. And now you must do everything you can to make sure that you have the freedom to put that child in the best possible world. How do you put that child in the best possible world? By exercising your inalienable rights. What are your inalienable rights? To be an entrepreneur. As Country Boy just said, that man made building houses a science. He put people in a situation to whereas they will only get what they needed when they needed it and how he provided it to them. I'm going to do the nails because I ain't buying no nails. I'm going to get my own wood because that's what we need to do. And after get my own wood, I'm going to build my own homes and I'm going to lay my own cement and I'm going to do those things. So guess what? Freedom is working class people picking an entity in which supports the working class. As I say every time, I'm speaking to my community, but this applies to everybody in the history of the world. I am not discriminating. What freedom is understanding that you have the freedom to be Black in America and say, I'm going to shop at Black-owned industry. And when I shop at Black-owned industry, what happens? Black-owned industry grows. But another freedom is this. Just because you're Black don't mean your Latino friends can't shop at your business. Invite the Latino community. You have the freedom to invite the Latino community. You have the freedom to invite all forms of Europeans to this Black store. You have the freedom to no longer use a broad brush to paint with Black industry. I don't go to Black businesses because ... which means, okay, if you had a horrible experience with Black industry, right? I mean, every time I go to a Black, well, this is the beauty in technology. You have the freedom to go online and find that business and write a poor review. And you also have the freedom to find a business of equal success, providing the same goods that's a Black business, and shop there and write a better review for those people. See, at that point, they have the freedom to continue to maintain, to slack, or they have the freedom to upgrade their standards. See, you have the freedom to engage in politics. I don't deal with politics. Might be one of the most ignorant things a Black person in the United States of America can say. See, that's really not my bag, right? You know, you do the political thing on your program, but that's not really my thing. Politics is smooth roads. You want smooth roads? Well, you need to participate in politics. You got the freedom to do that. Politics is schools for those children that I spoke about a second ago. Do you want your children, your nieces, your nephews, your cousins, and your neighbors, and potentially grandchildren in the future, you want them to have the best academic experience possible? You need to participate in politics. You want the police to get up off your back, your son's back, your daughter's back, your nephew's back, your cousin's back, your niece's back, your brother's back, your uncle's back. You want the peace to walk through your community without being accosted. That's called politics. SNAP benefits. Oh man, the people don't need SNAP benefits. They need to get up off the behinds. Have you ever taken this into consideration? Even our elders, they were prepared. Inflation had not quintupled since the year 2001, since the towers went down. Remember, gas was under $1 a gallon. Gas was under $1 a gallon in your adult life. This isn't the 60s, the 50s, the 40s. Gas was under $1 a gallon in your adult life. Now, not your teens, your adult, 30 years old, paying your own rent, feeding your children life. And after 2001, it went up. Now it's $4 a gallon, in some places even $5. So if over a 20-year period, if from 1968 to 1998, gas went up about 8 to 12 cents, and then it's gone up $5 maybe that's why some people need SNAP benefits. And wages haven't gone up, but people at the top, their pockets have gotten fatter and fatter and fatter. Think about this. In 88, Kirby Puck and Jose Canseco got both $4 million, and people lost their darn minds. The average income in the MLB is about $4 million now. Average. So what are the people at the top making? You have the freedom to think your way past what you're being told and the freedom to use your brain to process these things. That's freedom. You have the freedom to be a Charlie Kirk. But guess what? You also have the freedom to stand up and be a Willie D, to be a Roland Martin, to be a Karen Hunter, to be a Dr. Greg Carr, Lamont King, and the list goes on and on. Joyanne Reed, Larry Daniel Favors, and all these people who are adding positivity to your life. You had a freedom to do that. You had a freedom to not post anything negative about the people in your community and exclusively post things that are positive in your community. Now, all your friends on social media will see what you post. They may or may not like it. They may or may scroll past it. But if all of us are doing it, we have the freedoms to enhance and enlighten our own minds. Now, the only thing you see on social media is negativity because that's all you post. That's all you like. That's all you view. Now, if you start posting graduation ceremonies for young people who are too young to graduate, 14-year-old guy graduates from high school, 14-year-old young lady graduates from high school. Here's a team of young people who are all going to Harvard, all going to Yale, all going to Howard, all going to Spelman, all going to the top HBCUs or Ivy League or PWIs in the country. But do you post that? Instead of posting fights, you have the freedom to post love fest, people getting married, people engaging, people funny things, even if it's silly, even if it's slapstick, even if it's somebody potentially almost getting injured, it's still for humorous purposes. This is to add endorphins to your body, to uplift your energy, your chakras, your energy, your mental state has been uplifted. And then you will have the freedom to be happy, to experience joy, to stop discriminatory practices. Everybody, like I post a lot of racially inflammatory things. Some of the white people who are my social media friends and supporters, they chime in, that's not true. And then black people chime in, that's not true. But how many of you are posting these things? Don't wait for rap to do it. Either that, or take your behind to don't take your behind to the End of the Bench Media on YouTube and subscribe. Help if you don't want to post it, go subscribe on YouTube and watch me do my thing, and I'll continue to put out this positive content, which will uplift you, and you'll have the freedom to spread it and share it, and then help me help us, all of humanity, especially my folks, all of humanity. I told you, we are the rising tide that lifts all boats. But if you continue to not exercise those freedoms, you'll never obtain freedom. You have the freedom to support these young people. Stop complaining. If you just want to complain and say what's not going to happen, please exercise the freedom of shutting the hell up. And for my pastors and my elders who don't like me use profanity, I apologize, but I'll just exercise the freedom of a small piece of uncomfortable language. But I just need us to understand. See, this freedom that we speak about, we had a freedom to support the one dude who created his own not an iPhone, cell phone. We should have jumped on that. It's not as good. Nothing is as good as if you hit the lottery tonight, the Powerball, and you take that $20 million or that $50 million, whatever it is, and you create a hotel, it's not going to be as good as the Randolph Astoria. It's not going to be as good as the Hilton. It's not going to be as good as the Sheraton today. But in a year, it'll be better. And if we start flocking towards it, the funds will go into that building and they will expand. They will expand. And that's how the Hilton and the Sheraton and the Waldorf Astoria and all those big town hotels, that's how they started. Entry level, building up to the top. If you don't exercise the freedom of thought, these glasses make my face sweat. But I'm going to have to get used to it. I got the freedom to get contact lenses, but I ain't going to do that. But what I want you to understand is we have the freedom to be the best we can be anytime we want to be, but we don't exercise those freedoms. Freedom is simply looking inside yourself, deciding what will make you a better individual and doing it. It could be opening up the good book, the Holy Quran, the Torah, or wherever you find the place of your existence, the source of your existence. I'm sorry. and reading that book. It could be starting a business. It could be starting a friend group. It could be a group of text people. It could be watching football. But if you're not doing those things to the best of your abilities, then guess what? You are not free. See, Rap don't want a job. Rap got a job, but Rap don't want a job. Rap want this to be his job, enhancing people's lives, putting people in a mindset of freedom, engaging with the Creator, making their spirits freer, their physical freer with whatever you want to do. If you want to work at some place for 50 years and retire and relax on your deck and look at the sunrise, you have the freedom to do that. If you want to be an entrepreneur, break your back every day and put your hands on your hip at the end every night and say, this is mine. I want you to have the freedom to do that. If you want the freedom to love whoever you want and lay with whoever you want and lay with as many people as you want or as few people as you want or however you want to do it, as long as you're not doing that to hurt people, please do that. So what I want us to understand is this. We need to know what freedom looks like. We need to ask ourselves, are we free? And we need to determine how you obtain freedom. And when you do those things, also being mindful not to hurt someone, then you will truly obtain freedom. Until then, you are just as enslaved as fictional character Kunta Kinte, Chicken George, Kitsy, and the rest of those people that this I could call roots. Mentally, spiritually, and physically. See, a chain doesn't determine if you're free. Everything from my beard up determines if I'm free. See, if you are only free because someone told you you have the ability to cross the street when you want to, someone told you you could, which makes you captive. You have the freedom to create, the freedom to enhance, the freedom to embrace any and everything positive in this world. And the most important freedom is the freedom to share and uplift. If you're not participating in those freedoms, not only are you not free, you are capturing other people because other people are watching you. No matter what level of status you think you are on, someone is below you and they're mimicking you. And if they're mimicking you and you're not exercising all your freedoms, you're creating the next generation of slaves, the next generation of captives, the next generation of mental midgets, spiritual midgets, social midgets. That's what you're creating. You're participating in the destruction and the apprehension of the minds of the future because you decided freedom was not enough to fight for. You decided that freedom was not enough to engage in. You decided that what you have now is good enough. And then I want to know, is it good enough? Can it be better? Should it be better? Are you free? See, this might be the last time you see me in 2025, but in 2026, it's going down. And I want you to understand that. All I'm working towards in 2026 is the freedom to care for somebody, the freedom to love, to lead, the freedom to uplift, the freedom to empower, and the freedom to be happy. Those are the freedoms I'm chasing in 2026 until infinity. Me and the people I work with, whether it's going to be Tree, it's going to be Mo, it's going to be my man Clayton, and myself and my nephew. We ain't working towards those freedoms in 2026 until the world stops spinning. Exercise those freedoms, people. Exercise those freedoms. Y'all already know. I'm HRap B. This is End of the Bench Media. I need you to hit that like, hit that share, leave a comment. Leave comments. Comment on what I'm saying. You disagree? Let's engage. But when you disagree, I need you to understand I'm looking for you to offer a solution to your disagreement. If you just say, that ain't going to work, that ain't going to make me respond. Because I don't want to engage with your negative energy. I have the freedom to only engage in people who are uplifting. I have the freedom to only engage with people who have the empathy and the care to want to fix things. I have the freedom to ignore you all day long, every day. But you have the freedom to reach out to me, engage with me, and we both can be the rising tide that lifts all the boats of humanity. Thank you for tapping in. Happy holidays, happy New Year's. I am Brian HRap B. Williams. 2 fingers, 1 word, and
So really, ain't nothing in this integration. I need some land. I need some jobs. My people need jobs. We need something so we can build and do for ourselves, and we must have some land. Now, what's your suggestion? What should be my movement? Integrate?
Yeah, equal rights in a mixed society.
In this society, where you still own the government, you still own the train station, the railroad plant, the electric plant, these television cameras, you still make all the food, you control everything, and I'm like a leech on a dog's back. All I can do is just wait for you. I can't do nothing for myself. Integrating in your society don't mean I'm doing nothing for myself. You doing it all. I want to do something for myself. I'm tired of depending on you. You might get broke one day. Your stores might close. Your gas pumps might cut off again. I'm relying on you now. Can I have my own land?